In just one day, the United States has caused serious problems in three major parts of the world economy, and the damage is spreading fast. First, it escalated tensions with BRICS, the group of fast-growing countries that includes Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa. Then, it hit the global semiconductor industry, tech chips that power everything from smartphones to cars. Finally, it watched one of its closest allies start to distance itself economically, signaling cracks in long-standing U.S. alliances. All of this unfolded in just 24 hours, and the consequences go far beyond headlines. They point to deeper cracks forming in the U.S. economy. India has been the biggest supporter of the United States in the Asia region, but now they are facing punishment for refusing to follow the demands of Washington. President Trump has raised tariffs on Indian goods like medicine, electronics, and diamonds. These actions are pushing India away from the US and closer to China, something that could seriously weaken America's position in the world. It is interesting because India was the only BRICS nation that was still supporting the use of the US dollar. But with this move, we can guess that India will now support dumping the US dollar. At the same time, Trump is demanding that big chip makers move their factories to the US. But instead of helping, this is pushing countries like South Korea and Taiwan to look elsewhere, and giving China the chance to build its own chip industry faster. Before we get into it, ensure you are subscribed to the channel. It's the only way you get notified of our new videos. Now let's start with Trump's attacks on the BRICS nations. Donald Trump has started a new fight, and this time it's not just with China or the Democrats. It's with the entire BRICS group. And India, surprisingly, is his first target. Trump is threatening to slap a 50% tariff on Indian goods because of its growing trade relationship with Russia and its deepening role in the BRICS alliance. India has been buying a lot of cheap oil from Russia, especially since the war in Ukraine started. While many Western countries have cut ties with Russian energy, India has continued to buy because it helps them manage their inflation and fuel prices. Trump sees this as a problem. He claims that India is not acting like a true US ally and wants to punish it for it. The United States cannot afford to lose India, especially not when it comes to medicine. India is known as the pharmacy of the world, and for good reason. It produces more than 20% of the generic drugs Americans depend on, from life-saving cancer treatments to basic antibiotics and blood pressure pills. Indian pharmaceutical companies supply hospitals, nursing homes, and pharmacies across all 50 states. Without them, the US healthcare system would be thrown into chaos overnight. Now, imagine what happens if Trump's 50% tariffs on Indian goods become a reality. Drug prices would skyrocket. Already overburdened hospitals would face shortages. Pharmacies would run out of common medications. Patients would be forced to ration insulin, skip chemotherapy sessions, or delay surgeries because they simply can't afford the drugs anymore. The US doesn't have the domestic manufacturing capacity to replace India anytime soon. Setting up new pharmaceutical production facilities takes years, and the costs are far higher than India's efficient low-cost systems. If India pulls back from supplying the US, whether due to tariffs, retaliation, or broken trust, millions of Americans could be left without access to essential medicine. The impact goes beyond economics. It touches national health security. The US already spends more per person on healthcare than any other country, and if the Indian drug supply chain collapses, the result could be a full-blown healthcare crisis layered onto an already fragile economy. This move is more than reckless. Playing politics with pharmaceuticals is like playing with fire in a gas station. Once the damage is done, there's no easy fix. A 25% tariff already exists on key Indian exports, but insider leaks suggest that figure could triple on other items, especially diamonds. The US is the largest consumer of polished diamonds, importing $24 billion annually. But here's what Trump doesn't get. India has options. China and Hong Kong are more than ready to absorb India's diamond trade. If India pivots east, it not only protects its economy, but also strengthens BRICS, and every diamond that bypasses the US becomes another gem in China's crown. This is a fight about economic allegiance, and the US is losing it. India also plays a key role in technology services and exports important goods like textiles, machinery, and electronics. A 50% tariff would raise the price of these products in the US, hurting both American companies and consumers. US companies that rely on Indian supply chains could face disruptions and higher costs. At a time when the economy is already dealing with inflation and supply chain issues, this could add more pressure. What makes this worse is that India isn't America's enemy. In fact, it's supposed to be a partner, especially in balancing China's influence in Asia. By attacking India with tariffs, Trump risks pushing it closer to China and Russia, which is exactly what the BRICS alliance wants. Instead of breaking up BRICS, Trump might be helping them grow stronger. Remember that not long ago, India said it supported the dollar and did not think dumping the US dollars was a good idea. But with this, India is likely to return to the BRICS de-dollarization efforts. But Trump isn't stopping with India. He has made it clear that he wants to go after other BRICS countries too. Brazil is likely next. In the past, Trump accused Brazil of currency manipulation and targeted its steel exports. Now he may focus on Brazil's growing trade with China and its role in BRICS financial talks. Brazil is a major food exporter to the US, especially soybeans, coffee, beef, and poultry. If Trump adds tariffs on Brazilian goods, it could lead to food price hikes in American supermarkets. Farmers in both countries could lose access to key markets, which would hurt the agricultural industries and raise prices for consumers. Meanwhile, China and Russia are always at the center of Trump's trade wars. Trump has floated the idea of a 60% tariff on all Chinese goods. That would affect hundreds of billions of dollars in imports, including electronics, clothing, and household items. Prices for everyday goods would go up sharply. American companies like Apple and Tesla, which rely on Chinese factories, would also suffer. China would likely retaliate, which could lead to a new wave of trade tensions and more disruptions for US companies operating abroad. Trump frames these tariff threats as a way to protect American jobs and ensure fairness. In practice, though, tariffs drive up costs for US businesses and consumers. Prices rise, supply chains tighten, and the economic strain lands directly on the people these policies were supposed to help. And as American families are left paying more at home, a much bigger shift is taking place abroad, one that could reshape the global energy system and leave Washington out of the equation entirely. Trump has tried to isolate Russia with sanctions and trade restrictions. But instead of folding, Moscow has found a powerful new partner and a direct route east. Russia is now fueling China through a pipeline superhighway that's changing everything. The power of Siberia, one pipeline is already pumping billions of cubic meters of gas from Russia directly into China. The power of Siberia 2, which is under construction, will soon double that flow. These pipelines are reshaping the entire energy map of Eurasia. Russia, once dependent on European markets, is now redirecting its oil and gas toward Beijing, and China is gladly taking all of it. Even more alarming, China is enjoying this deal because it's buying Russian oil at discounted prices. Because of Western sanctions, Russia is forced to sell at lower rates, and China is scooping up as much as it can. At a time when energy prices are high around the world, China is locking in cheap oil for years to come. That gives it a huge advantage. This is energy warfare, and right now, the US is on the losing side. Every barrel of Russian oil that China buys is another blow to America's control over global markets. Every gas shipment fuels Chinese factories, Chinese power grids, and Chinese military production. Meanwhile, American consumers are stuck with higher prices, and Washington is losing influence by the day. What we're watching is the formation of a new energy alliance, an axis of power between Moscow and Beijing. It's about independence from the West. And if this energy corridor becomes permanent, it could shift the balance of power for the next 50 years. But energy isn't the only front where global power is shifting. Technology is next, and Trump is already escalating the fight. Trump has set his sights on the semiconductor industry, the tiny microchips that power everything from smartphones to fighter jets. His plan sounds simple. Force companies like TSMC and Samsung to move production to the US and cut off China's access to cutting-edge chip tech. This is why he is pushing a 100% tariff on imported chips UN unless they're made on American soil. But here's the problem, it's not working. TSMC, the world's most important chip maker, is building a factory in Arizona, but it's facing delays, cost overruns, and major labor problems. Samsung's project in Texas is running into similar trouble. These companies are used to operating in Asia, where supply chains are tight, labor is cheaper, and governments are more supportive. America just doesn't offer the same efficiency or scale. Meanwhile, China is quietly catching up. In just the first half of 2025, Chinese companies are expected to complete mergers and acquisitions in their own chip industry. They're building foundries, buying design firms, and launching government-backed projects to replace foreign tech. Instead of slowing China down, Trump's trade war is pushing it forward. Every export ban gives Beijing more reason to build its own tech. Every tariff makes China more determined to go independent. And they're making real progress. SMIC, China's leading chip maker, has already started producing 5-nanometer chips, a milestone once thought impossible without American tools. If this continues, China won't just catch up. It might overtake the US in certain advanced technologies, especially in AI and military applications. Trump wanted to protect America's tech lead, but his aggressive approach may be doing the opposite. He's giving China exactly what it needs, a reason to stop depending on the US altogether. And China isn't wasting time. Beyond semiconductors, it's laying the foundation for something far more ambitious, a complete economic break from the West. As Washington doubles down on tariffs and restrictions, Beijing is quietly preparing for life without the US economy. Call it a fortress or a shield, but the goal is clear. Build enough independence to weather any future confrontation or decoupling. China is stockpiling essential resources: gold, wheat, oil, lithium, silver, you name it. They're building reserves in case of future disruptions. They're also reducing their exposure to the US dollar. In fact, China has slashed its holdings of American Treasury bonds and is trading more in digital yuan, especially with countries in the Middle East, Africa, and Southeast Asia. Beijing is also creating its own global systems, like the CIPS payment network, an alternative to SWIFT. This lets Chinese banks move money across borders without touching US infrastructure. If Washington ever tries to lock China out of the dollar system, Beijing already has a backup in place. While Washington targets BRICS, another shift is happening quietly. But it could be just as dangerous. Japan, long considered America's most loyal economic ally, is starting to chart its own course. And it's raising alarms in Washington. Tokyo has just finalized a major trade deal with India, strengthening ties with a BRICS member the US is trying to isolate. Japan is also deepening energy and tech cooperation with Brazil, expanding its footprint across the global south. These moves reflect a clear shift. Japan is starting to make decisions on its own terms, with less regard for Washington's position. At the same time, Japan is defying pressure to cut ties with China. Despite rising tensions, Japanese firms are doubling down on Chinese partnerships, especially in electric vehicles and green tech. Even the Bank of Japan has begun discussions about reducing exposure to US treasuries, echoing a growing fear that America's debt might not be as safe as it once was. For the US, this is a wake-up call. If even Japan, the pillar of its Asia strategy, is drifting away, what's left of Washington's leverage? The global balance is shifting. Allies are hedging, rivals are rising. And while America plays economic hardball, the rest of the world is building new rules. The question now isn't whether Trump's strategy is bold. The question is, can America afford to lose the world? If you found this breakdown helpful, subscribe and turn on notifications, because the next move could change everything.